We're rocking with or without you.
How do you?
With or without you, make you remove you.
We're back with another one. So today we're reacting to Penwell the Black Pen, talking about his 8 kids and also give some light about how he views Indaba Yelobola. I know his views rub people in a wrong way, but I'll just
You've got 8 kids.
I've got 6 children.
Okay, you've got 6 kids.
I've got 6 children. I've got currently 2. We'd call them stepchildren for now. So 6 plus 2 makes 8.
8.
And at any given time, it can go up or down because my life is funny like that.
Is it?
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
Does it make sense?
It makes sense.
Next month,
unless if maybe you want to break it.
Next month, I could be dating Ukeli Kumalo and she comes with 3. So it becomes 6 plus 2 plus 3. So I'm just trying to explain. But biologically, I'm a father of 6 children.
6 children.
Yeah, from 4 mothers. I always need to emphasize that because it feeds the Twitter trolls, so they have something to attack me for. 4 mothers, 6 children. I love my children more than most things.
They always attack you for having 6 kids.
For having 6 kids with 4 mothers. You have to add the 4 mothers because if it's one woman that I'm married to, it's like, oof, mbogoto.
Do you have a good relationship with them?
I've got, it fluctuates. Generally, I've got a good relationship with 3 of the mothers. In a season, must understand. The women, nabo fluctuate. Just in J. You know, you can have one wife. Yeah, and you have fluctuate. Generally, I've got good relationships with 3 of my children's mothers.
Okay.
And I've had a horrible relationship with one of my kids' moms for the longest time. But I've documented it on social media.
You know, how do you do it, dude?
Must I give you the long answer or the short answer?
For a fact, the short answer. I know for a fact that they are...
Yeah, before he gives that response, I also want to add, Menuguti, baby mamas, abanye, to deal with them, is stress. There's people who make it difficult to even support umntwanako. There are baby mamas who would make it difficult for you to see umntwana. There are baby mamas who want you to support umntwana that you do not even see. There's also, I think we must also discuss in Dioguti why other fathers don't support their kids. You'll be shocked when you get a feedback, Dioguti, it's mostly because of the treatment they get from the baby mamas and the family. Then umuntu azitshela ukuthi no, I'll just sit back and allow God to take charge because it gets too much.
Guys that have like 10 kids.
Yeah.
And some, I'm sure, maybe they don't take care of their kids.
Of course.
But I bet you for sure that you take care of your kids.
There's a long answer, man. And maybe it's a challenge to me at some point to do a 1-hour special of me speaking to a camera, explaining my understanding of fatherhood from all angles. From all angles, because there are different angles. There are different types of fathers. The short answer for me is the fact that I have 6 children from 4 mothers is a hack and a cheat for me. Because if it was 6 children with 1 mother, it would mean me and this one woman have to carry the 6 children. Because it is 4 mothers, I get to share responsibility with 4 people and not 1. What does that mean? It means 2 of the mothers have 1 child each. So their only focus is on 1 child. 2 of the mothers have 2 children each. So their only focus is on 2 children. My focus is on 6 because I've got 6 children. But the mothers don't have to carry 6 children. They carry 1 or 2. So if the mother works, needs time, it's 1 or 2 kids. It's not that demanding. Manja, me as the father, it becomes tricky. All my children were conceived in Johannesburg. Their mothers were living in Johannesburg. So my plan was to raise my children in Johannesburg by myself. I do not believe in oppressing women. I don't believe in dictating to women. I don't believe in telling women how to live their lives. All 4 mothers of my children are, number 1, beautiful. Number 2, very healthy. Number 3, very intelligent. Number 4, very independent and able to do for self. What that means is they don't live for me.
No slave queen.
They live for themselves. They have their own dreams and aspirations and careers. One of them is working in KZN, doing quite well. One of them is working in China. She's with my children there. She's doing quite well. One of them is working in Johannesburg. She's doing quite well. And one of them is based also in KZN, in the northern part. Last I checked, she was working, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure because she's the one I don't have a good relationship with.
Yeah.
So my children are far from me,
Yeah.
which now means I don't see them as regularly as I'd like. My goal was to have them all in Joburg and see them or live with them fully, but I don't get to see them all the time. So that almost becomes a cheat for me because I don't have to be present every day because they live with their moms and they're far. I do try to keep video contact, and where possible, like the Durban kids, I visit them regularly. The one in Newcastle, I don't get to see because me and the mom are not okay. And then the ones in China, it's video. And COVID really messed us up because they haven't been able to visit because of COVID regulations with China, etc. But the plan is to get them to come back and visit later on this year. And then there's one in Johannesburg that I see all the time.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, that's the dynamic I have. From a financial perspective, because this is probably the bigger one. I'm going to try and be brief. I believe in a formula where you should budget a certain percentage of your money for your child or your children. I've got a percentage. It doesn't matter how many children I have. That is all I can afford. If I have one child, they will get all of that money.
That's one important point. Budget according to what you can afford, not according to what omunye umuntu thinks that you can afford. There's a lot of people, manje, who are running a maintenance court, who have cases that they need to attend for maintenance because they are exes have created a budget that they feel ukuthi this person can afford. Just because if you get paid 20,000, it doesn't mean that you can afford to give umntwana 5,000 a month. It doesn't mean that. Just because if you get paid 30,000, it doesn't mean that you can afford to give umntwana 10,000 a month. So you have to budget according to what you can afford. And also, akusho ukuthi mawukhona then mele uncintshe umntwana. Mawukhona, do for the child. If it means ukuthi ukukhona kwakho amandla akho aphelela ku-500 a month, then lo muntu loyo umprekise nazi na need-to ukuthi amandla akho aphelela to this specific amount. So budget according to what you can afford so that you can avoid ukuzithola uhamba bomashonisa. I think that's a very, very valid point, man. I like it.
I've got a percentage. It doesn't matter how many children I have. That is all I can afford. If I have one child, they will get all of that money. If I have 20 children, they will have to split it by 20, which means the standard of living will change based on how many kids I have. If I have one child, very expensive private school. If I have 20 kids, they might have to go to a no-fee school or cheap township schools or cheap Model C schools. The mothers probably have their own formulas as well. And if they have 1 or 2 kids, they will assign. So I provide for my kids based on what I have, which I think is decent currently.
And it also kills abanye abomama. For an example, if you have, let's say I have a child with umntwana ka Julius Malema, for an example, and then I have a child with another lady engihlala naye eKasi. You understand that these 2 kids will grow up differently, number one, because Julius Malema has the affordability, or Julius Malema can afford to spoil umzukulu wakhe rotten, and then lo engihlala naye eKasi kubo, it might be with basancenga, they won't be able to spoil umzukulu wabo. So into yabo baby mama, they end up comparing the 2 kids, and then bese bathi you do more for that one, but forgetting ukuthi that one, the background yakubo is solid. It has nothing to do with me, but umama khona lo engimphrekisile abazali bakhe, they've worked hard and they made sure ukuthi umntwanabo nesizukulwane sabo would go to bed on a full stomach. We're talking 7 colors, boy. And in Loasekasi, it's a different story. So comparing nabantwana futhi, it also kills or it also contributes negatively towards a relationship and also towards making sure ukuthi abantwana bakho they treat each other equally. So I just like these points that he's making. I think it's points that a lot of people don't want to talk about them, and it's there, siyazibona. So when he mentions those, then it clicks in your mind. Oh, flip, vele kunjalo. Oh, snap, vele kukanje. So a big shout out to him for just voicing it out and making sure it's voiced out in a way that it will be understood. Akekho umuntu ozothi this guy is speaking foul because of 1, 2, 3, 4, but he's taking his time and he's making sure that his words are understood. And a big shout out to you for that, Mr. Penn.
I provide for my children equally with what I have. But if ever I was to be broke, not making an income, I have a plan, because how I'm raising my kids is like this, and I hope more people pick it up. You should be able at any moment to be able to take care of your child fully on your own, whether as a single mom or a single father. So if ever anything happened to all 4 of the mothers and all the kids had to come and live with me, I wouldn't need anything from the mothers. I would financially be able to take care of my kids on my own.
I think for some of us, it's why we're starting our YouTube channels, because it's more like passive income in a way. That's why for some of us, we don't spend money on expensive things, because we know there'll be dark days where uxoshwa nje emsebenzini ungazi nawe ukuthi wenzeni, and mawubambelele ku-salary, then it means that mawuxoshwa your kids will suffer. So that's why you have to keep digging and keep searching for ways of making money without ukuvuka nasembedeni. Once you can master that, then abantwana bakho they are well taken care of. You don't even stress much whether you can afford or you can't afford, but also that you know ukuthi the basics are covered.
So that's me giving you a short answer.
Do you have a goal in terms of calling all of them and putting them in one room? Say, guys, meet this one, like, so that they can get to meet each other.
The ideal plan and the goal was for all my but the reality is that I'm a man.
You don't want this one dating this one and all of a sudden cut to their siblings. You know that thing happens. I'm telling you, dude.
No, it does happen.
Yeah.
I've stopped now with consultation. I've stopped now posting my kids. I used to post my kids online and I used to speak about them all the time, because I wanted them as they get older to be able to plug into my content and be able to see, oh, this is my brother, sister, this is how old they are, this was their birthday. They could see them. And as they become tech savvy and teens, they have their own social media. They can reach out to each other. Or I can create a WhatsApp group if they in different places. And we can create Zoom family meetings once a week, which is actually one of my plans, to have Zoom family meetings once a week where they all plug in and they all give us updates on how they're doing at school, what they're stressed about, and then they can have their own independent relationships. Ideally, it was for me to live with all of them, but I'm a man. And the reality in the world we live in is that women have a privilege when it comes to kids. Everyone expects children to live with their mothers. So when it comes to who should children...
I like that, man. Women have a privilege when it comes to kids. I like that. There are females who cannot afford ukuhlala nabantwana, and their ex-partners can afford ukuhlala nomntwana. But for the fact ukuthi the law favors females more, umntwana uzomthola hlala nomama. Ukuthi for what or for who, I have no idea. So ukuthi school fees is paid by the dad, the food is bought by the dad, anything that has to do with the school the dad covers. But when you go to court and want the child to stay with you, the law will fail you. The law will fail you, even though you take care of that child 100%. Right now, I'm in a situation where I've been put up in this budget by this person that I was dating, that nanoma aya for clinic visits, I have to make those payments. When she goes buy anything for the child, I have to give her money to go buy and money for taxi fares or money for Uber fares. And when I say kuye mfethu, because Guinea, it seems that you are not united. Bring the child to me. Let me stay with the child. And Gita, I know they will assist with those minor things. You don't have to stress yourself. She refuses. And in the I can't go to court and say I want my child because of mama. So she has that privilege. And those are facts.
And they all give us updates on how they're doing at school, what they're stressed about, and then they can have their own independent relationships. Ideally, it was for me to live with all of them, but I'm a man. And the reality in the world we live in is that women have a privilege when it comes to kids. Everyone expects children to live with their mothers. So when it comes to who should children live with, almost everyone votes with the mom. So the second best plan is for my kids to visit me because of school every holiday. And then I will always be available for them. And when they visit me, it's because my kids are still young. It's going to be easier once they're older, where they will all come visit me and then we'll all chill together. Or we organize family holidays. Or one of them is having an event. And I tell the other ones, if they are available and can access, your sister's playing sports here, your brother's what. If you're available, come through. Come watch them. Come chill. I'll take you guys out for supper and we'll hang.
When you met your first baby mama, did you believe in marriage? Because I know
No.
you don't believe in marriage now.
And she didn't either.
Is it?
Yeah, I've never believed in marriage. It might be because my parents' marriage wasn't great. So it becomes like a trauma reaction. But because I have a philosophical mind, I question everything. And I looked at the marriage contract and I realized, and I went and I studied the history. And I realized why the marriage contract was put in place. A lot of it was to protect the woman because men had patriarchy and male privilege. And a woman needed some type of financial, economic protection. The other thing is because women were deemed second-class citizens. So a woman will belong to her father until another man comes to own her. That's why when women get married, they lose their father's surname and they take the man's surname. It's like slavery. You know, a slave would take their master's surname. So women were seen as second-class citizens and they still do it today. That's also why men, it's not big for men to wear a ring. It's big for women. So that you can see in the streets that it's almost like a shackle around your neck. I'm owned. Someone owns me. I'm Mrs. Shabalala. You know, I'm saying it in a negative term, maybe because I'm anti-marriage, but I'm trying to explain the history, that it was an ownership thing and you take the man's surname.
No negatives. What you're saying is facts. The reason why they wear rings and rings that are like sometimes they have this mindset, the more expensive the ring is, the more people will get to see it, and the more they will see what you having a happily you living a happily married life. It's facts. You're not being negative. A ring is worn so that abantu baphandle bazokhona ukubona ukuthi lo muntu uthathiwe. Even nathi as gents, when you approach a female, once akubonisa ring, then you're like, oh, uthathiwe. They don't have to say much. They just have to show it to you, like, oh, uthathiwe, oh, she's enslaved. It's facts.
You fast forward to the world we live in today and you look at the dynamics of gender equality, you look at the dynamics of women empowerment, etc. And I do not see, even if I was to deal with the trauma of my parents' marriage and be like, you know what, I've healed. I currently do not see the benefits of marriage. I see the benefit of a mother and a father living in a home together and raising their children. So a lot of people don't understand this because they don't pay attention. I believe in the nuclear family. I may not have it, but that's because my life is different. And people must not copy my life. Because my life is, if you're going to copy one part, you must copy all of them. And the other parts, you're going to see flames. So rather don't copy my life. Nuclear family, find one partner, commit to each other, get your families to meet each other. Don't pay lobolo and those things. I don't believe in that stuff. But get your families, mom, dad, this is whoever, mom, dad, this is whoever. Let's come together. We're now a bigger family. We are going to have children. The children are going to enjoy both families. It's not that my wife must come to me, Baba, can I please go visit my old home? No, it's your home. You're empowered. You're a woman. Go visit your home if you want to take the kids. If your parents want to come through, if I'm visiting them. And for that, I don't think we need to sign anything. I don't think I need to pay your parents anything. I don't think we need to have a fancy event and all the other things. And if the woman for whatever reason or the man for whatever reason feels We have gone for therapy. We have gone for counseling. We are trying. I'm not happy here. I'm not thriving here. They must leave without having to go to court.
Exactly. I think I'm gonna end it here, but exactly, man. Emhlabeni esiphila kuwo, when you, for an example, if let's say you date someone who has 4 kids, different dads, and then when you come there as an innocent guy and saying, listen, man, I wanna help you to build a family. I wanna love your kids and I wanna love you, and I wanna make sure that your kids have not the best life, but they have a life worth living. And I want to make sure that now you are appreciated, and I want to make sure that you feel the love, and I want to make sure that you become the person that I see that you are. And I also want to make sure that the kids reach their full potential. There's nothing about endleleni, whether it's finance, whether it's moral support, whether it's emotional support, anything. I just want to be that guy who makes sure that those things are covered. Then you will have to pay lobola. Just imagine, there's 4 guys before you who child made her pregnant, then left. Another guy came, wadla, wamprekisa, wahamba. Another guy came, wadla, wamprekisa, wahamba. The 4th guy came, wadla, wamprekisa, wahamba. Then when at the 5th guy, you coming there and saying, man, I know your life is hard. I know your life is hard, man. And I just want to be good to you. I want to love you. I want to bring back that love element in your life. Please allow me to do that. Then they say, Atini, no, you have to go pay lobola by my fathers. Does that even make sense? Does that even make sense? So I think this thing, lobola, it must be checked. I know, yes, abazali bethu bebayenza, but guys, we live in a different world now, whereby by the age of 30, so ugogo manje. By the age of 30, your child is probably 15. Naye sekanomntwana who's about a month old. So ugogo. And you still say ukuthi wena usafuna ilobola by the age of 30 ugogo. Hayi bafethu. No. This thing has to be relooked. And if it means ukuthi it has to be restructured, or if it means ukuthi there should be just a fixed amount for all people who have kids, they should have a fixed amount ukuthi mawuzwana nomuntu onomntwana, this is how much you can give to the parents, maybe 100 rand, not only because of uyabathuka or bazoyibona mhlawumbe ngendlela ukuthi awubahloniphi, but it's you saying ukuthi I want to change impilo yomntwaneni. Yes, unabantwana. I'm looking past it. Yes, she's been through certain relationships that didn't work for her, and I'm also looking past it. I can see the person that she is, and I know that person is still in her, and I wanna be that person who will unleash the gift that she has. Can you please allow me to? Here's 150, or here's 200, or here's 300. Let me be the man that she deserves. I think kanjalo, then they should be happy to let the child go and say, man, go try your luck, guys. Go try your luck, and if there's anything that you need, just know what we're there as a family. This thing, lobola, I also don't feel it.
We're rocking with or without you.
How do you?
With or without you, make you remove me.